All right, shalom to the hopeful elect, Barakim La, Allah Yahweh, Yahweh Shemir Bashai. All praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh Shemir Bashai. I'm going to jump right into it through the spirit. And you see this article is from the sportsrush.com and it's dated 13th of July, 2022. And it's going into Dwayne Wade. And I saw this article just recently, and I decided to go ahead in the spirit and do a lesson on it because this shows that the mindset of these jakes out here with these big platforms, the entertainers and athletes and televangelists, all these people are lumped up the same. They're in the same boat, which they're supposed to be leaders of our people, but they're not. They're not using their platform to actually gather the sheep. They're using it for their own personal gain. They're worried about being something in this world or maintaining what they've had, or having something after the great reset, as they understand. See, what they don't understand is that this great reset that's coming, the crashing of the economy, is going to be the end of the rule of the wicked. So everybody that's joined to the system is going to be destroyed. But you see the mindset that they have, and this title right here says it all. So through the spirit kind of grabbed me. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a brief lesson through the spirit of Yahweh Shemir Rashad, Lord willing, it's edifying. Now it says Dwayne Wade fears he will lose his $170 million fortune after retiring from the NBA. And those fears are there for a lot of these jakes, a lot of these entertainers and athletes, and, people that have invested, in this economy, or that has some part in this world. These people have these diverse portfolios, meaning they're invested in many different things, and they've been preparing, for the worst because they hear it from those that are more affluent than they are, and so they've been shuffling around money and shucking and jiving and trying to heap up for themselves treasures for the end. But see, the Most High is coming to do away with all that because of their lack of understanding and fear of the Most High, and faith. That's what's going to be their undoing. That's why the scriptures say the mighty and the renowned the Lord hasn't called. The mighty are those of great wealth and influence in the world today. And this would be another example. So this fear that you see that it says Dwayne Wade has, he don't have the fear of the Lord, but he got fear of losing his money, which shows you, we're going to get into the scriptures here in a second, that, this is a losing proposition because the Most High set these dudes up to be destroyed. So this money is going to be a snare and a trap. Now I'm going to read a little bit of this article, very, very, very little. It's going to be a brief lesson and just get a few precepts. Now it says Dwayne Wade, the legendary Miami Heat shooting guard, has revealed his fear of losing money in his post-playing career. And one of the main reasons why in this subheading that he's fearful is because he's not making, $30 and $40 million a year. So that money's not coming in the same way. So now everything is through investments and etc. And a lot of that's looking bleak. Why? Because the economic system is failing and faltering. Babylon is falling. And the world is, because the world is following Babylon the Great, which is America. So no matter what you got your money tied into, if it's in Bitcoin, if it's in offshore accounts, whatever, all that's going to crash. And this dude's going to have to take the chip to keep whatever that he has, right? Whatever they allow him to have after they crash the economy. And that's going to be a death sentence. But ultimately, this guy, first and foremost, is a super mo, and his wife is a 304. She's a hoe, and his youngest son, is a transformer. So that already shows you that this family is through. They're out of here. The Most High is going to destroy this man's whole family. He's going to destroy, all of his hopes and dreams. All of his hopes and dreams are going to burn here in Babylon. So that fear that you see, let me go back up and show that fear that this guy got, and a lot of these dudes got, is going to go down the drain, or go up in flames and be said that way. That's what's coming. So he should be feared. He should be petrified. Hell, he should be terrified because there's no way that he's going to get out of, this judgment that's going to come. Your money ain't going to be able to save you in these last days. If you don't have the mark of exemption, the mark of the Wa, the white stone, that's the clemency, right? The mercy from the Heavenly Father, then you're going to be judged. So having a lot of money and being affluent in this world is really a death sentence. So now I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of the article. It says the idea that you should close your eyes and imagine money flowing into your life and then poof, it appears is nonsense. So is the belief that once you have more than enough money, the good times will continue indefinitely. It takes incredible personal discipline and focus to attract money, especially if you don't come from money. And it takes a healthy, constant, of course, fear of being broke to keep money in the bank. And that's the fear that these rich men, you know, in the world, that they have. There's a constant fear, a constant pressure that's on them because they got to be always making more money. They got to always be worried about what they're invested in, losing money. See, a lot of these dudes are invested in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has been losing terribly, so far this year, in the tunes of the hundreds and hundreds of billions. So a lot of people's money, they're losing money. And different investments are falling as we continue to see, super hyperinflation and the economic system crash. So these dudes are slaves. And these slaves, these celebrities nowadays, so-called, which are just nothing but high-level slaves, they have this fear all the time. Just like, these Edomites are the billionaires and the ones that's trillionaires, hey, they don't understand what time it is as well. So continuing on, it says professional athletes typically have a finite amount of time to earn a living before their bodies can no longer compete as well as they did in their youth. Many people from various walks of life and sports have been affected by this, with former NBA players going from the top of the world to financially destitute. You see it all the time, right? Entertainers, athletes, you see it all the time. The stories of Hammer and Mike Tyson, all these stories. There's so many of these stories that, it ain't even funny anymore. Like, it's almost unreal how it happens, but that shows you that our people are under the curses, which they fail to acknowledge. They fail to acknowledge the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They fail to come back to being an Israelite and being a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They don't care to do that because they feel like they've made it already. In this world that they're in, they've already made it. So in the spirit, the only thing left is judgment. And we're going to get into that now through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Once again, I'm going to get a few precepts and close it out. Let's get a few precepts and just show that, this system that's going, the system of commerce and capitalism, that's been governing and ruling the earth, for such a long time, is coming to an end. So Esau's ruin is going to be the end and the ruin of 2/3 of these Jakes. And these dudes are the head of the 2/3. The Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Rihanna's, the Dwayne Wade's, these type of people, the Oprahs, the Bob Johnsons, the Michael Jordans, Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent. All of these dudes, they about to circle the drain fast. And all their riches is about to be gone. And let's show that through the spirit with a few precepts. This is the book of 1 Corinthians. Yeah, we can start there. 1 Corinthians 6. And I'll start at verse 9. It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? So the unrighteous, the wicked, those that refuse to repent, those that have not been called, ultimately those that were not chosen, from the foundation of the earth, which will be the non-elect members, the children of disobedience, the rebellious house, which the leader of the 2/3, these top entertainers and athletes and people in this world. Also, that list goes on, and not just the ones that have great riches only, but that have great notoriety and fame. That goes into the mighty as well, the mighty and the renowned, which are, your Henry Louis Gates, Cornel West, people that's of that sort, Dr. Umar Johnson, these people that are regarded as scholars and learned men, hey, they going down too, right? All of them going down together. And that's all the promise of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So now let's read it again. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, and that goes for literal and spiritual, nor adulterers. And these dudes are set up as idols. So you think all this idol worshiping that people do of these men and women in society, that the Most High is going to allow them to live and be worshipped like God, so to speak, on the earth, and that they ain't going to have a punishment for that? No, their punishment is that they're going to have to eat a missile, as the Apostle Dahar says. They're going to have to eat a missile, right? And the Most High got him out of there. He's not, these leaders of the 2/3 ain't going to be able to escape. Their money ain't going to be able to save them, right? It says nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. And once again, this guy's whole family will fall into that category, pretty much, right? Nor abusers of themselves with mankind. That goes without speaking. So none of these are going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Let's keep reading. Nor thieves, nor covetous. And these guys are thieves too because they've robbed our people. And they all know that they're Israelites, but they don't care, right? Nor drunkards, and those are the ones that are drunken with the ways of the world and literal. Nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Now, it goes on to say, verse 11, and such were some of you, but ye are washed. The difference between the 2/3 and the hopeful elect is that the elect are getting clean and washed now and repented and returning to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So it says, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, which means to be set aside, but ye are justified. And the believers ultimately going to be justified by the blood of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. In the name of Ha'adawan, Yahweh Shai, and by the Spirit, by the Rakah, it says, which is the Spirit of our power. So that's the separation, the real from the fake, right? So the real is being separated and sanctified and made meek for the master's use. Let's continue on. Show another precept. This is the book of 1 Timothy 6:6. It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. So all that you have on this side, you ain't gonna be able to take it with you. But a lot of our people, the scriptures say, those that seek to lose their life will save it, and those that seek to save their life are going to lose it for my name's sake. And that's the elect, the ones that don't care about what's in this world. As the hopeful elect, we've given up this world. We could care less. So once again, 1 Timothy 6:6, godliness with contentment is great gain, because we're content with what the Most High has given us. That means we're winning. We up on the scoreboard, as the brother Yahweh would like to say. We up on the scoreboard, right? We winning because we're content with what the Most High has given us and everything that he continues to bless us with and how he keeps us. We don't need an overabundance of resources to be made whole. And that's another reason why these dudes are going to be destroyed, because they're not taking that and truly coming together and, helping out the lowest of the low of our people, the destitute, the poor, as the scriptures say. Verse 7, 1 Timothy 6:7, for we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be there with content. So we must be content with just having the necessities, not living abundantly, high on a hog. 1 Timothy 6:9, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and ultimately, when the hour of temptation come, which is Revelation 3:10, that's going to be the ultimate snare and temptation that the vast majority of these big wigs in society gonna fall into. And it's a many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men into destruction and perdition, which is the ways of the world. Verse 10, 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Meaning they'll do anything for the love of money. And you see that amongst our people. Right, money controls their every move and dictates their thoughts, their emotions, their lifestyle. That's why dudes like this take on that Mo lifestyle. They take on that effeminate, weak nature. That's why they take on that nature. Being ruled by their women, being ruled by public opinion. These dudes are PR. Everything is about being, or PC. Everything's about being politically correct, which the Most High ain't dealing with them. That's why the Lord's gonna kill these dudes. So now, let's continue to show that, and get another quick precept. This is the book of Proverbs 23, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, "Labor not to be rich; cease from thy own wisdom." And once again, these men have not, considered the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and they don't cease, from their own wisdom. They go into the ways of the world, You know, they went into all the councils of the world. They go into different beliefs, you know, etc. These men got life coaches and stuff that tell them how to live and their lifestyle. You know, like I just saw this dude Diddy laying on the shoulder, you know, of this pork chop eating pastor, you know, TD Jakes. Just saw a video of that the other day. My man Jada Black had it on his page. And it shows you putting up Masonic signs. See, these dudes are all connected to the world. So it says, labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. And they trust in their own wisdom. They trust, you know, in the counsel of fools, which is the ways of the world. Proverbs 23:5. Wilt thou set thy eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. And his riches is going to fly away. And that's why he has that fear, you know, that's being spoken of in this article. Right? His riches is going to fly away, it says, like an eagle toward heaven. You know, in an instant, his money's going to be gone. And he don't know it. Right? That fear is there because he can feel it, but he don't know truly what's coming because he's not being given, you know, the secrets of the Most High. He hasn't been privy to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And he don't have faith. So even though he has great substance in the world, he's really lacking. This guy right here is lacking terribly, right? But he thinks that he's winning, but he's down on the scoreboard and time is running out. Now let's show that further. This is the book. See if I can get another precept. It's the book of Luke 12, and I'll start at verse 15, and it reads, it says, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. See, so we're not supposed to be trying to covet, you know, riches and you know, having some, you know, ABC escape plan and a diverse portfolio once again, and storing up treasures on the earth, because that's all going to be taken away once again, as we read. It's going to be like an eagle flying toward heaven. That's how the riches of this world going to vanish quickly. It's like seeing a bird fly away and then it's gone, right? So it says, beware of covetousness. Right? For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. And these people have 3 and 4 houses in different parts of the world and all sorts of riches. 15, 20 cars, private jets, the works. And once again, they think that they're winning, but they're losing terribly. Let's continue to read. Verse 16, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there I will bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. Verse 20, but the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. It says, then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? Verse 21, so is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward the Most High, because the Most High told us not to store up ourselves treasures on earth. And I'm going to get that. So his soul is going to be required of him. And all of these Jakes that's in the same line as this man, Dwayne Wade. You got like one more precept, and then we'll close it out. Maybe 2. So this is the book of precept going with this, right? Matthew 6:20, it says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 19. Matthew 6:19, it says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Verse 20, Matthew 6:20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through. It says, nor steal. Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So the minds of these Jakes in the world, their minds is only on their riches. They don't care about nothing else. That's all that matters. And generational wealth, it's all about them being covetous. I got to do what I got to do for me and mine. That's the spirit, right? Now, here's the last precept that I got. This is the book of Matthew the 19th chapter. So this is Matthew 19, and I'm gonna put this visual up here that I got just for a little more edification going into, what we're about to read. It's the book of Matthew 19, and I'm gonna start at verse 23. It says, "Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, Verily or truly I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven." So a rich man gonna have a hard time getting into the kingdom. So once again, those riches, to live, abundantly on this side means you've been given your consolation. And that's the ability to be able to live on this side, but have to die and come back in the kingdom, to be able to enter into the promises is given to all of Israel, right? So continuing on, Matthew 19 and 23, "Then Yahushua said unto his disciples, Verily, I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of the Most High." So it's not going to be many of the rich and the renowned that's going to make it. The overwhelming majority ain't going to make it. Very few are going to repent. Matthew 19 and 24, "And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High." And this is the eye of the needle that it's speaking about. It's not speaking about a literal camel going through the eye of a needle that you would use to stitch something. But this is what is making reference to. Now, on this picture here, it says, "The photo above of a similar gate in Nazareth illustrates the eye of the needle gate quite well. You can see that a camel could not pass through the gate unless it first had all its baggage removed and then stooped to get through the gate." And that's what the Most High, or that's what Yahushua is making reference to. That's how hard it is for a rich man. And look at that camel. He still had to stoop down and barely make it through. He had to take off all that he has on him to get through. And that's how it is, symbolically for a rich man to get in heaven. So there's going to be very few that's going to make it. And that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, by Shem Rakakwadash. So with that, I hope that was edifying. I want to give all praises, infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shem Yahshai, by Shem Rakakwadash. Double honor, as always, to Yah, to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayah from Madawadah, the house of David, the brothers laboring day in and day out to make their calling of election sure. Help us seal the elect of the nation of Israel, for the return of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai is at hand, and to the Akim and Akwath, the Akyawa Akwathya, who also listen and believe on the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that's being preached throughout the four corners of the earth daily. Unto you I say shalom. So shalom once again to the hopeful elect.